Kawhi Anthony Leonard. We're tired of the games. Quit it, bruh. This is childish now, all right? This is getting out of control. It's
Bro,
4th of July weekend.
Bro, it's the 3rd.
It's 4th of July weekend. I'm just trying to have a good time. That's all. But nope, I'm stressing, trying to figure out where Kawhi Anthony Leonard is going to sign. Come on, bro.
I do feel like we've reached. I just saw a tweet that highlighted like we've reached this place of instant gratification that we forget that Kevin Durant signed on like the 6th and LeBron signed on the 10th.
No, I swear KD signed on July 4th.
Nah, you want to know how I know it's the 6th and we'll never forget? Because it was basically called KD Day for 3 days, for 3 years.
I swear.
Like that was like KD Day is like was a holiday in the Bay for like 3 years. Yeah, so he didn't even announce via Players Tribune until the 6th. So look, don't be surprised if he waits until Friday. Which people are going to lose their minds if he waits.
I think the news came out on 4th of July and he officially signed this. I'm like 100% sure I remember KD.
So he's got till tomorrow. We'll give him till tomorrow to stick with the trend.
I'm looking it up right now. But, I mean, yeah, and I think part of it is because so many people beforehand.
Oh, so fast.
Just
so fast.
Tampering's dead, first of all.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, all the crap Magic Johnson and LeBron get received for it, or, like, receive with, like, the tampering stuff, it's like, bro, okay, so how Jimmy Butler and the Heat figure out all this stuff before free agency open? These other stuff. It's like,
we're only selectively bothered by tampering anyway.
Yeah.
You're only really bothered by tampering when it means that your team's probably going to get the brakes beat off of it every year. So let's stop pretending like this doesn't happen all of the time. Like, do you think the NBA is up in people's cell phones, wanting to like asking, "Oh, can I see your text history, please?"
Like when they find Doc Rivers, that was stupid. That was so dumb. Because I was listening to Dan Le Batard's show today, and Marty Smith was covering on it, and he was like, "That was dumb for them to find him that because it was like ESPN had him on there as a commentator, as an announcer, you know."
With that question, like the producers know this stuff ahead of time. With that question on their list.
Yeah. So like he gets asked that question and he's there as a commentator, as an analyst. He's gonna answer it the way an analyst would.
Stupid.
And so you can't kind of bash him against that. And it's not like Kawhi's gonna like any player, any coach, you show them that they're going to say the exact same thing. So that's not going to be the difference maker between Kawhi wanting to go to the Clippers because, Doc Rivers thinks of this of me. It's like a lot of dudes think that of him. And
right.
That's not gonna be the thing that does it for Kawhi. No. Doc Rivers said this thing about me on
player.
TV. Yeah. He said I'm basically like Jordan. Yeah, that's why I want to go play for him.
Okay.
And here it is. See? Monday, July 4th, Durant announced his decision Monday morning on the Players Tribune. I remember this. Dead remember it. He announced it July 4th because it ruined the rest of my 4th of July because all I was doing was just on social media reacting and like everything. He wrote that whole. I remember it. I was dead. Like for real. Yeah. And that's when like Westbrook started going on. It was that 4th of July was
that
wild.
Whole week was crazy.
That was wild. I remember it clearly. I forgot where I was. I think we were downtown Raleigh. Were we? I don't know. What year would that have been? 2016?
17.
17.
Yep.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh,
it's crazy. Or because he was there 3 years, right?
Yeah, 16.
16.
I guess. Yeah, they won in 15, lost in 16, and then got him with summer of 16, I believe. That's correct.
So they would have won 16, 17, 18, 19, lost this. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, so that summer. But, I mean, some of the moves that have already gotten going, we could start talking about that. That Sunday, it's crazy because, one, I'm glad they pushed it to 6 p.m. instead of dang midnight, July 1st, because that was always the like right at midnight, all the news will hit you, and then you're just like, all right, well, I'm
man.
gonna be up for the next 4 or 5 hours.
I went back and looked at my drafts in Twitter, and it was the only way. It was the only way that you could explain
Woj?
what Woj was capable
How
of.
quick he gets him out? Yeah,
Because you can
he had
tell,
him lined up. Yeah, you had to have
and
him
he's
lined up.
obviously, I imagine a lot of those he knew ahead of time.
Yeah.
And there's like rules, obviously, with the whole like you basically can't drop this until a certain point.
Yeah.
That dude probably had he probably had enough time, honestly, to plug that joint into like Hootsuite or something. And just schedule him out over the next like.
That's what I was thinking with him. I was like, because it hit 6 p.m. Bam, 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 bam. I was like, oh, you had these loaded and ready to go.
He had them things in notes.
And I was even because I basically like subscribe to his notifications, and Shams is like him and Shams are like 1-2 when it comes to who signed where,
and then everybody else.
Yeah, and I saw the stadium had like they were doing a live show, free agency, and they had Shams there, and dude was just basically on the laptop going away. Like they're doing this live show here, and he would just like be typing away, and then he'd cut in, and he'd be like, hold up, wait a minute. Jimmy Butler's going to the Heat, and he just keep typing out. And I was just like,
remember when Schefter was on?
What?
You remember when Schefter was on SportsCenter that one time?
Oh yeah,
it was literally live. This dude just
two
took a call.
phones. Yep,
he literally was. He was typing, took the call, like walked away from the desk, took it, came back, and then dropped the news on a contract and then length and amount. And I was like, bro, this is crazy.
It's wild. You see, like,
this is crazy.
That's the one job I would never want. What Woj, Schefter, like being an insider, because literally, it's just, especially with Twitter, social media, everyone leaking information out, and you want to be the first one. It's like
legit. I couldn't have a family.
No, you couldn't. Legit. You couldn't.
Legit. I got 2-3 phones at least, and it's never not in my hand.
Because imagine, basically, since
crazy
July, it was probably like July 29th to July 2nd, you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
For Woj or Shams, you're just.
I was up way too late on the 30th. Just because of that. Way too late.
Especially when the whole Kawhi domino started to fall. It was like it's down to 3 teams. Mm-hmm. And then you hear all this stuff is like Lakers are actually pretty in it and all that. I'm like, y'all getting my hopes up for no reason. Don't do this to me. And then I became fully invested. And now I'm just ready to be fully disappointed because that's life.
So do you think he leaves Toronto?
Bro,
because I've been saying this the last few days. He might be the most unpredictable. Not unpredictable. Because, like, we didn't know what Kevin Durant was going to do.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like if he decides to go to one place or the other.
Nobody knows what matters to him.
Right.
Nobody knows what matters to him.
Right. There is no, like.
There's not, he wants to be the man. He's okay with playing on a team
nobody
of
knows
stars.
That stuff.
And there's the whole thing people were saying is like, oh, he hates attention. Why would he go to LA and stuff like that? And then you see he's in Toronto. They got dang helicopters like
you saw
on the vehicle. Yeah,
it was GTA. They had 5 everything. Stars,
bro. What he's been in LA the past couple of days. You didn't hear anything of like he's here, there. Toronto, you're hearing every step and all. And I'm like, no. And I saw someone tweet about this earlier. I think it was Mike Ryan, but it was like, it's the difference between LA and Toronto. It's like Toronto, he's like a god there right now.
Yes.
So everywhere he go, I mean, dude was in Home Depot a couple weeks ago. Somebody snapped a picture of him. They were snapping pictures of him everywhere he goes. So like, he goes to Toronto, he's not gonna have no peace of mind. He's a star there. But like LA, you could be walking down the street and you pass 2-3 people and they're famous as hell, and you're like, wait, that was. And later you'll see a picture. Yeah, you're like, wait, I just passed that person, not even knowing that they're, because there's so many like star-studded people there that it's one. LA people don't get starstruck like that, and also it's Kawhi of all people, where he's already a quiet dude, and also people aren't gonna like run to that as much, and you can keep a very low-key life in LA, like. People don't understand that at all.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's choosing between two teams in LA in the first place. Like,
Yeah. I can disappear here.
Yeah, two of the competition. And look, I've heard a lot of great stuff about Toronto, but I've also heard it's cold. And like we said, we don't know. It's cold like 365. It seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know Kawhi that well, but him being originally from California, I think he grew up in San Diego area and all.
Yeah.
Like,
which that's been funny too, because people all of a sudden are talking about, oh, you have a chance to play at home. Like, bro, you
home is 2.5 hour drive.
Like, what
I don't think you understand what home is.
I get so tired of that, bro. Like,
yeah,
nobody talks about any other state like that.
Yeah.
If you live in California, you live 30 minutes from everything. Like
everything.
What? Like, yeah, that's literally the only state that y'all talk like that about. So here's my favorite thing so far about the anxiety and like the stress levels. So last night, it was, and when I say reported, I don't mean like reported. I mean somebody saw Kawhi in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't think
much of it.
So I still to this day, this is last night. I still don't know if he was actually there. Let's get this
I
out.
honestly
let's get
don't
this
believe
out
he
the
was
way.
there.
Well, let's get this out of the way right now. He's not signing with the Warriors. It's not happening.
No,
so we'll get that out of the way right now. We have less than no money, and the only way it's possible is if Toronto were to do a sign and trade, and I don't think that's happening.
Toronto's like, essentially, we're not getting you, but we're gonna help this team re-up to get you. That would be the dumbest thing for Toronto to do. And the Lakers sure as heck aren't gonna do that. And the Clippers, they don't have anything you want.
The only way, and again I say the only way in the sense of knowing I would put money down this would not happen. Only way it's happening is if he's already told, which he's not because he's meeting with Toronto last. Only way is he's told Toronto, I'm not coming back. And then they proceed to work on a max deal, sign and trade for somebody to at least get something back similar to what Golden State did, getting D'Angelo Russell. So that all being said, he's not coming to the Warriors. It's not happening.
Yeah, and that the sign and trade could be what they're trying to like, because people are like, why is he flying back to Toronto if he's not going? But it possibly could be. He lived there. He might still need to move stuff.
Right.
You never.
If I'm Toronto. And again, I just don't believe there's enough time. Warriors had time because they always thought that there was a strong possibility Kevin Durant was leaving. With Toronto, I believe they were always kind of like, not to say the Warriors weren't with Kevin, but like hopeful that he'd resign, especially after winning the championship. Bro, if like it's one thing you look at the Warriors and you go, oh shoot, somebody actually pulled it off. Like they were about to lose somebody for nothing and got something back in return. So the best part about him, if he was in the Bay Area, was the level of, and this is how it made me feel a little bit warm and fuzzy because I'm like, okay, now at this point, people think that Bob Myers and the Warriors are capable of anything. Like the level of fear people have at this point is so funny. People started hearing he was in the Bay, and Bay Area people started like trolling. They were like, yo, we seen him at such and such hotel. We saw him at such and such a restaurant. And then you could tell it was getting ridiculous because people were like, oh yeah, him and Steph are at I forget Aisha's restaurant, what that's called. But everybody outside of Bay Area Twitter, not everybody, mad people outside of Bay Area Twitter were like pissed and like legit nervous. And that might have been my favorite part about the whole thing. So I'm like, we are going to be no threat in the year 2019.
Well, no, it's just the dumb idea of like, you fear them, like, which nearly impossible for him to go to the Warriors. You fear that happening.
Oh, yeah.
But you're okay with him going to the Lakers when they got AD and LeBron, which if Kawhi joins them, that would arguably be the greatest, like, three superstars on one team.
Right.
If you think, and LeBron's, like, on his decline. It's not like it's not as huge drop off noticeably and all, but he's definitely, I mean, dude's going to turn 35 like this fall.
Yeah.
And, like. He's managed to keep his body healthy all along, but like he's on the decline, obviously, and we see with him playing defense. And if Kawhi were to come, LeBron would probably be the second, maybe even third best player on that team if Kawhi to come. Because Kawhi right now is the best player in the league. And until KD gets back, and even when KD gets back, we don't know how healthy he's going to be.
Right. Well, if he's smart, he's not going to play 2019, 2020.
Oh yeah.
He's not.
No, there's no way. There's no way he does.
Yeah, there's that fear. I guess there is that fear that they've developed that fear. Like when you get KD and then 2 seasons later you get Boogie. I imagine there is that fear of like, dang, they can make anything happen. So I understand that. Like if he even stops. And my thing was, it's probably a layover. He probably just went up to SFO and then it's flying from SFO out of Toronto. Like, let's think about this a lot. Like logically, that's probably what's happening. It's just that the layover was probably like 90 minutes. So he went into the city and people like started panicking. But no, I get it. And the thing with the potential joining of Kawhi, AD, and LeBron is I keep hearing, oh, it's not the same. And I even texted you.
Those people are stupid.
I even texted, like we were texting about this, where I was like, the first thing you'll hear out of the mouths of those people is 73 wins, and which is valid, but it becomes invalid if you're the same person that tried to say that 73 wins doesn't matter if you don't win a championship. Like you say, because those are the same people who were like, oh, overrated, most overrated team in history, yada yada yada. You can't say overrated. 73 doesn't matter, and then whine and complain when they get the best person on the market. So to me, like this thing isn't so much about when you're talking about acquiring talent. You're not talking about acquiring like this cloud abstract idea of greatness. You're acquiring talent, whether it's a 73 win team or a 15 win team. The reality is they're much more similar than I think a lot of haters would like to admit. I think it would be ridiculous, but personally, I can't hate on it. Why? Because it was our situation.
Yeah.
And this should have always been about winning.
Yeah.
Because now all of a sudden it's, bro, it should have always been about making the best team ever. And you can't all of a sudden decide now to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Now that it suits you. It should have always been about winning. It should have always been about acquiring and putting together the best team possible. And even, look, bro, I'm a Warriors fan, bro. Ask Knicks fans, bro. You think Knicks fans would care? I haven't heard a Knicks fan yet complain about a super team, bro.
No,
you know why?
Dreaming
because
of
they're
one.
trash, and they're trash, and their ideal situation is to pulling 3 stars at one time. Like, and
you're only hating because you don't have it.
Yeah,
as soon as you have it, you're not gonna be
Don't be that
whatever.
guy.
And it's just the argument we go back to when you look at it. Like most teams that win the NBA Finals has at least a big 2, big 3 stars.
Right.
Kobe, Shaq, Kobe, Gasol.
The whole conversation is so skewed because everybody's complaining about how much talent teams have. This is going to be the norm. And when I say the norm, I'm not talking about a lack of parity. Look at how much talent is in the league, bro.
Well, part of the other thing you got to think.
So much talent.
Part of the other thing you got to think about is, these new dudes, as Bomani refers to them, like they're all buddy. Most of them grow up playing AAU together. Most of them, like by the time they get to college, they've played each other so many times in basketball, just through tournaments or also the other big stuff. And how Coach K has been able to pull in a lot of these guys is USA Basketball. Basketball, these dudes are coming in like 14, 15, playing these tourneys and all that, and they're getting together there. And that's how Coach K's been able to recruit a lot of these guys.
Yeah. Newsflash, bro. Lamar Odom and Ron Artest played on the same AAU team.
Yeah.
Newsflash. Zion Williamson and John Morant played on the same AAU team. So don't be mad if like 5 years from now, when these cats opt out.
They came in at the same time. They're going to be able to opt out at the same time. And if they got the right situation where they could both play together and they like each other, they're cool dudes, yeah, why not play with each other? Don't be. Well, I want to say, don't be upset. Don't be surprised. Yeah, and that's one of those things where it's like the NBA is just at a different time where those dudes aren't more like they're competitive, but they're not more about like the NBA. Because like I grew up Kobe era, and to me, Kobe, like I just love his killer's assassin, where he was just like nah, I'm coming at you and whatever, and no buddy stuff like that on the court and all. And this new generation of players is different, and that's okay. And like the league's always gonna ever evolve. You don't want that to stay the same. If we had just 6'5" white dudes over here laying up the ball all the time still, which like this was the case like 50 years ago, if it was still the same now, the game would be boring as hell. We don't want to see that. So that's why we've seen the game elevate. We've seen shooters. That's why the 3-point game has been crazy this past couple of years. This is just another evolvement of the game. The game is going to keep evolving in that way, and also in the personality, the way these guys interact with each other. And then also you just got dudes that just like getting paid. Like Damian Lillard, he just got paid a stupid amount of money for just making it to the second round and getting swept, minus this one other time where he made it to the conference final and got swept. So he upped it up a little bit just to get swept and got paid, and essentially is going to get paid near $50 million for the next 4 or 5 years. Dudes are just here doing their thing. Whether it's just there's some dudes that want to win, there's some dudes that just like, hey, I'm good with this place. I'm good with this money. I'm good with being the guy on this team. And, like, one of the biggest surprises from free agency was Jimmy Butler ending up in Miami. And I think it was a big surprise. But then afterwards, when it kind of all settled and I was hearing some different stuff talk about it, it all made sense because it was just like him being on the Sixers team. And I didn't even really watch a lot of their games just because I can't stand Embiid. Because like he's yet to prove himself in a way, but he's one of those. I have the same
beloved for the same stuff that other cats get
get hated for. Yeah, he's so like he's just a troll, stuff like that. Oh, that's cool. Someone else believes a troll. Nah, y'all hate it.
Right.
But I have the same issue with him that I have with Cam Newton, where it's just like, dude, you haven't proven yourself enough to be this cocky, be this like all bold and up and out there, and then when you do lose, you just pout and like you can't take it. Like Embiid crying at the end of that game and doing all that stuff. It's like, and people trolling him, and I was like, dog, that's totally fine because he was one of the dudes I was making fun of Gobert when Gobert cried after finding out he didn't make the All-Star, and it was just like
him and Hassan Whiteside, bro. Joel Embiid, I'm ready to. I've been giving him some slack. This next year will be the year where not I make my decision on what I think, but like especially after the crying thing, because there's two ways you can deal with that. Like if you're genuinely like, dang, that season was a lot emotionally. It was the most basketball that he's played in a long time, whatever, and to go out that way, okay, I get that. The way he responds in 2019, 2020 will tell fans basically what they should think about Joel Embiid. Yeah, it's one thing to pout, but it's another thing to pout and like go, you know what? I promise myself and my fans, we're never gonna feel that way again. So I'm kind of holding out, but no, like I like Gobert, Hassan Whiteside, dudes who talk a really really big game, and when it comes down to actually like doing stuff that matter, like Gobert with the Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, the dude literally got gifted DPOY for crying. Like, let's be honest about this. But yeah, those two dudes kind of bother me because they run their mouth a lot and don't really do all that much. Gobert, great defensive player. Hassan Whiteside can put up buckets when he wants to, but their arrogance to skill level ratio isn't all that impressive.
Yeah, totally. But no, like I was saying with Butler, him landing with Miami, Butler, and it was interesting because, like I said, once again, I listened to Dan Le Batard's show, and they talk like they're based in Miami, so they talk a lot about Miami sports, and so they were talking about Jimmy and him landing there, and it's one of those moves when you look at it, it's like, okay, you're not totally about winning. Because, you're leaving this good team to go to this other team that's not – many people wouldn't consider a contender for the finals next year, just with all the teams that are shaping out right now. But it's one of those that's like Jimmy is a win – like he wants to win in a different aspect of like – the Heat have been known for having like a winning mentality. Pat Riley.
Yeah,
the Godfather, just kind of – they have a winning culture. They have a like buy-in culture where get guys to buy in, just get guys to play hard. And that was one of the things like with Toronto, not Toronto, with Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler had a problem because he's like, y'all suckers out here like are trash. You guys aren't even trying. You guys aren't really putting in effort.
Right.
And it's like you guys got paid and you guys just cashed it in. And so that's why he was beefing with them and then ended up asking for the trade and ended up with the Sixers. And Sixers, it was like it wasn't necessarily the same situation, but even with it was for the Sixers. I mean, Ben Simmons was the main ball handler, was the dude that kind of operated the offense. But then in those crunch time games, when we saw in the playoffs, Jimmy Butler ended up taking that over. And Jimmy Butler was in the position was like, y'all got this dude running point, but he can't score. Like, that's cool and all, but when you got defenders trailing 10 feet off of him, that's an extra body that's clogging the lane, that's helping out on defense because it's like, we know your man's isn't going to shoot a 30 feet, 20 feet jumper. And so, like, and that's part of it where what the Sixers did is interesting. They signed Tobias Harris to 5-year 180. 5-year 180. That surprised the crap out of me because I first heard of Tobias Harris this season with the Clippers, and then him and Boban got traded, and he seems like he's a good player, good two-way player, and all. But he's on that tier where he's one below Butler. I almost feel like, and that's just one of those where many players
Butler,
don't know about him.
Like elite low.
Yeah.
Whereas Tobias is like your top 4 player high type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that just like because Butler, I wouldn't consider him in the elites with like the LeBrons, the KDs, the Kawhis, the
generational.
Steph. He's like those guys are like tier 1. Jimmy Butler's like tier 2. And Tobias is like right on the brink of tier 2.
Yeah, top of tier 3, bottom of tier 2 type.
Yeah, and so seeing him get paid that much, I was just like, wow, okay.
Yeah, it was a wow. It made some sense because, again, your small forward's gone. And who else are you going to pay?
Yeah.
You can either pay him like if you're Tobias Harris's agent, you're about to cash out. Because who else on the market that you're going to get at small forward can play the power forward position? So dude's going to say he's going to like, bro, I want the max. And he got it. But a bunch of dudes got paid. Tobias Harris being one of them.
Yeah. And then they got Al Horford. Yeah. Al Horford. Why am I struggling with this? Al Horford also. That was a good look for them because he always gave Embiid trouble in the playoffs. And so it's funny because now it's just like, thank God I don't have to face this dude anymore.
Right.
And also
like out of Boston.
Yeah, and also it'll help them a lot because like they can rest Embiid a lot more throughout the season.
Yeah.
Now that they have another big body.
Oh yeah. He can play both. He can play both the center and power forward position. And the cool thing about Horford is if you do want to play him, Horford is actually a really good stretch 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got some fun potential there, Philly.
Yeah. And it's just the only problem is like they lost Jimmy Butler, and then they also lost J.J. Redick, which J.J. Redick was a big loss for them. Went to New Orleans. New Orleans building out the Duke.
We got to talk about them at some point.
New Orleans building out the Duke NBA team out there.
Bro, David Griffin. We talked about David Griffin, bro.
Yeah,
we got to give David Griffin the props. My man is out there running a clinic on y'all's behinds, bro.
Yeah, nah. He's good at what he does. But yeah, they got Al Horford, and it's cool and all, but it's like you don't have any elite shooters on that team.
No.
You really on the starting lineup as it's shaping out right now. You have Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Al Horford, Tobias Harris, and probably Josh Richardson, which they got from Miami.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was a good look for them too.
Josh Richardson's a good two-way player. I hear from listening to the Dan Le Batard show, I hear a lot about the guys talking about him, and it's like he's a almost feel of like how good he's gonna get.
Ideally, you do not want him to start.
Yeah, he's gonna
his his peak is sixth man.
Yeah, and he has that mentality. At least while he was in Miami, Miami basically became his team because, he became the go-to. I don't even know if I would say that because Wade was still there and Wade was getting the final shot.
Yeah,
but there was that period when Wade was injured and he was out, where Josh Richardson would be getting the final shots, and it was just like he couldn't capitalize. He couldn't create a good shot or any looks like that. So it's like he's a very streaky player, so there's that concern with him. And then, they essentially traded Jimmy Butler and Josh Richardson are very similar players. I think Josh Richardson's a little below Jimmy Butler. So it's like you got a similar player back and for a lot cheaper. And then they gave Tobias that money. So I'll tell you what, they got trees for a starting five, which I think they were biting a lot from what Toronto did this past, like in the finals. Yeah, because they're like, man, they saw that work for Toronto, and I think that's the kind of format they're using. And even like a lot of teams, seems like with Utah, they got a couple people that are lengthy. I mean, that's been the method with the Bucks. They got Brook Lopez. They got Robin Lopez also with Giannis. So there's a lot of teams trying to kind of move away from small ball because it seems like everyone thinks small ball is kind of dead, especially after what happened with the Warriors.
Well, what's crazy is small ball was supposed to afford a team speed, and the Warriors were kind of a little bit ahead of the game when it came to initiating small ball. But the thing is now is everybody can run. So you can play small ball, quote unquote, but still run and still have like 3-6-10 guys on the floor. So it is kind of nuts how the NBA has even changed some of the terminology that we use, because even like small ball for a Milwaukee team is putting Giannis at the 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is what's funny is like people were like, yo, if he's gonna go play for the Warriors, he better be ready to play, the 5 spot. So it's crazy because I think the small ball terminology is going to be dead because, again, like Kevin Durant in and of himself is a generational talent, but 6'10" guys that can like move and push the ball and handle the ball and shoot a little bit, that's not as special as it was even 5 years ago. We got like a bunch of guys that can do that. Kristaps is a guy who, we might watch, doing that. And so we'll see.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I think those were the big moves. There were so many moves that happened.
I know. This funny is we kind of glossed over the
definitely the wildest.
Yeah.
NBA offseason.
And the biggest signing hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, and the biggest one.
Second biggest, I guess. But yeah.
No, that's definitely the.
Yeah, I think KD's hurt.
Biggest.
Yeah, KD's hurt.
Yeah, I think
if KD was healthy, then that would probably it'd be up there with Kawhi.
And it was already wild, but it would have been more insane if like KD was healthy, Klay was healthy.
Yeah,
I think Klay would have still ended up with the Warriors, but that would have still drawn some intrigue because I think there would have been a lot of teams going hard.
Oh yeah, I think the only reason it wasn't was because him and his agent were saying straight up like, we don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
If he'd even showed a hint of like, I don't know where I'm going, that would have been nuts. To see them 3 getting vied for in free agency would have been nuts. And what's crazy, we just kind of glossed over the D'Angelo Russell thing. I have no idea what they're going to do with dude. Like, my gut is that they play him until Klay's healthy. And you got 2 options. You either play Klay at 3 or trade D'Lo. But here's the thing that I'm interested in. We can move on from the NBA if you don't have anything else NBA related or free agency related. Apparently, the Timberwolves basically had D'Lo circled as their own, like the only like big guy they wanted.
Yeah,
and the Warriors swooped in and got him. And we just made a trade to send 2 of the people we got from Brooklyn to Minnesota already. I'm wondering, and the thing I keep hearing, because I don't want him. I have no interest in Andrew Wiggins whatsoever. But apparently, Minnesota's trying to get rid of Andrew Wiggins' contract, which is smart on their part now. They should have never signed for that in the first place. He got to be one of the most talented unmotivated dudes I've ever seen. But y'all be on the lookout for a 3-team trade where the Warriors facilitate Minnesota's getting rid of Andrew Wiggins' contract while sending D'Lo to Minnesota, and the Warriors basically cashing out on picks. That's that. I do wonder.
I think it's over for Wiggins. I don't think there's no resurrection to it because it's like you figure out a dude there's this thing like you figure out if a dude's gonna be good by his 3rd, 4th year,
right?
And like we've passed, like we're in the middle of that, or like we're pretty much past that for Wiggins. Because when did he get drafted? Like
14,
13? Yeah. So yeah, this is going on season 5 for him. 4 or 5 for him.
Yeah, 14.
And it's just one of those. It's like this is what he's gonna be.
And he also just happens to be signed to a 5-year, $147 million contract with an average salary per year of $29 million.
And yeah, because Timberwolves basically paid him and Carl Anthony's out, right? They I'm pretty sure because I think Carl Anthony's got his extension last season or the season before that. I know for sure they paid Wiggins, and it was one of those. He got that contract and he just phoned it home.
Cat's on a 5-year, $190.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That is roughly $65 million per year being paid out to 2 players.
That's stupid
for a lottery team.
For a consistent lottery team.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's bad.
Minnesota, make the call, bro. I know you're desperate to get rid of Wiggins' contract. We'll take all the picks. We'll take your picks, and we'll take let's see who needs a super talented sub-25 wing. Portland. We'll take all the picks. We're taking a break in 20. We're taking a break in 2020. We're taking a break.
Portland can't have any more money.
They were already in the top 5. Only reason they were able to sign him was because they had his bird rights, which is crazy. They're spending a ton of money.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how Hassan Whiteside, if he can resurrect his career going there.
Yeah. Hey, look, y'all don't be mad at me, bro. Giannis will be in a Golden State Warriors uniform by 2022. That's what all of the moves that we made are about.
I really think he'll stay with Milwaukee.
I think he could, but Milwaukee needs to pray that they at least get to the finals in the next 2 years. They need to pray that happens. Because my gut says he stays. He doesn't seem like the style to be like.
I don't know. I hate talking about like what they're gonna do 2 years from now because if you would ask KD 2 years from
there's no way.
Like you can't tell that. It's
no
all
way.
Circumstantial, and it depends. Like someone gets hurt on the team or like players. So trying to predict that stuff is stupid anyway. Yeah. Because like even with Kawhi, it's like.
Yeah, no idea.
Last season, he wanted to get traded to the Lakers, and Spurs were like, "F you, we're trading you to Toronto." And so, like, if he would have gotten traded to the Lakers, everything would have looked completely different. Right. So you just never know with that stuff. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But as far as right now,
Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart on Toronto, man, the NBA, bro. Anyway.
But yeah, New Orleans. Once again, they're building out Duke. They got Frank Jackson. They got Zion Williamson. They got JJ Redick now. They got Brandon Ingram, and then pretty sure they have one more Duke player. They could legit start.
Ja.
Oh yeah, Jahlil Okafor. They have a Duke starting 5 if they wanted to, which is wild. It's so funny.
Yeah,
it's so funny. But it's also pretty cool. It's pretty cool because, like, for them to all... And honestly, they could snag up probably a couple... I mean, Quinn Cook is still out there. They could snag Quinn Cook.
Yeah, we just rescinded our qualifying offer, so he's unrestricted.
Yeah, so they could snag Quinn Cook up for the veterans minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Lakers might make a move for him. God, it's just... At this point,
scraps. I think, now it's getting close to being scraps left.
Because at this point, it's like however it plays out, however it ends up, I don't want to hear people saying anything to the Lakers or like afterwards. It's like, oh, you guys messed up. How could you get? It's like
They had
it's
to, they had to wait.
it's a once in a lifetime type of talent play. Not once in a lifetime, but it's one of those rare talent players that like you stop everything for.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work in your favor, you got a solid base still in AD and LeBron, and then you can figure it out from there. And you still have a lot of money. And yeah, most of those guys might have already committed to another team and signed up and all, but it's just like when you got a core, like there's still players out there that like you just need role players, you need shooters, and you'll have flexibility with, hey, we didn't dish out this money for this player, but now we get to make this move. And I mean, I can't be mad at Kawhi about it because it's like, yo, this is a big life decision. Like,
Right.
You got to respect however much time it takes him to make it.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's the thing with the Lakers too, where when I say, you know, it's getting to be nothing but scraps left. Two things. Number one, that's not to be disrespectful to NBA cats, and it's not to say the Lakers are screwing up, because Kawhi is the type of person that you all stop. That's one of the reasons why I thought Kawhi had already made his decision, even if we didn't know, because when y'all I think he made two signings. There was one signing that happened before Jared Dudley, and then Jared Dudley dropped. And the first thing I thought was, oh, Kawhi let him know.
yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but that's one of those things that made me feel like he had made his decision when the Lakers felt like, okay, we got the green light to sign some of the vet minimums stuff that, you know, that we would have started once Kawhi comes in. But they can't really wait that much longer. So we'll see what happens. And Kawhi and his agents got to know that, but hats off to them, because I feel like that's one of those things that could pressure you into making a decision sooner if the decision hasn't already been made. And they seem to be taking their time. So, again, nothing against the Lakers because that's the kind of guy you wait for, and nothing against Kawhi because it's a massive decision.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things where, like, I'm not giving any hype into the Lakers are like front runners or anything like that, because this is legit one of the most mysterious dudes ever.
I still don't. I
in
just
the
don't
world
understand.
in sports, just in general. And so, I don't give it. Like I said, until I hear from Woj himself, even if someone else breaks it, the news, until I see Woj tweet it himself, then I'll believe that Woj or Shams tweet it. And either way, it plays out. But it's just like I bring up that argument part because I know people are going to go to that if Lakers don't end up getting him. Oh, well, Lakers spent all this time, you know, trying to gate him, and now all these other players are gone. It's like, you got to do that. You have to do that. And it would be one thing if they only had LeBron and they did that, but they have LeBron and AD. Like, you have a solid core of two. You have two elite players already. You're gonna be good. You can venture to not make all those early decisions and kind of hold off and see what he decides. And that also could play a huge part in the recruitment, because it's like, yo, like, we really want you, and we're holding off everything essentially for this next season until we get your decision, and we're gonna respect your time. We're not gonna try to rush you with it, and that could go a long way for a guy like Kawhi. We don't know what this dude likes.
Yeah, at least in the past, we could have said, "Oh yeah, Buddy's a winner."
Yeah,
like he like if he wants to win, he'll go there.
Yeah,
and not to say that Kawhi doesn't, but it's like,
well, that's
we could have at least said.
The other thing is like,
oh, he's got a friend over and such and such.
No, but even that, dude just proved that this season. And there's going to be asterisks with this championship with Toronto and all that, but he still made a huge run, and they still capitalized, which is always hard for teams to do. They capitalize, and he won with him being like the main team and him kind of being the leader of that team. He won the championship, celebrated and all, but I'm also pretty sure he knows in the back of his head, yo, we got lucky with those 4 bounces in Game 7 against Sixers.
Yeah.
We got lucky with KD going down. We got lucky with Clay going down Game 6. Like, a lot of things felt in their favor.
Yeah.
They executed on their part, but a lot of things fell in their favor. And so Toronto
Van Vliet came through.
Yeah, Van Fleet was just a surprise oddball, and it was like, yeah, this all worked great. But you saw all these other teams re-upped, and like a lot of teams like doubled up their stars, even tripled up their stars, and got really good. And so he could be looking at his situation in Toronto. One, he didn't originally want to go there, and him and his agent a year ago made it clear. It was like, this is just going to be a 1-year thing, and we're going to look at it. And so you might have changed his mind a little bit, but at the end, when he's looking at it, it's like, yo, it'd be one thing if they didn't even win the championship. But now that he won it, right. I think that's perfect, where it's like, yo, I did this thing for you guys, and I can leave, and I know no matter what happens, I'm going to be a legend here.
Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
He's done. Dude is what, 29, 30, might be even a year younger than that or whatever. He's, what, I got 6-7 more years maybe in the league. I'm just going to, why not take the easiest possible role and be able to live in California?
Right.
Bro.
Right. Well,
y'all don't understand.
My only worry, and when I do think it's as far as easiest, as far as if they're able to fill out the roster with role players, I mean, lock them in as power rankings, lock them in at number 1. I say lock them in as favorites to win the championship. If the Lakers require Kawhi. But, and here's what's intriguing about this whole thing as a fan too. I'm not sure there's a decision he can make where he'll be criticized for it. You know what I'm saying? If he goes to the Lakers, what are we going to say?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do it easy, yada, yada. Bro went to Toronto, just won a championship.
Yeah, he has nothing to prove.
Oh, you didn't want the pressure, so you stayed in Toronto. Again, the championship eliminates a lot, if not all, of the criticism he could do. If he goes to the Clippers, what are people going to say?
He's got the easiest freebie.
Right? You know what I'm saying? This dude, as far as public perception goes,
he's done the one thing everyone asks of their superstars, where it's like, oh, well, you can't win on your own. That was the argument against KD, or you can't win with... It's you can't have that argument. And literally just did it.
He just did it on one leg.
Yeah,
basically.
A month ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's in the clear.
Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see if anything, and this is just, I hated to see it happen to Kevin Love. I hated to see it happen to Kyrie. When they win, the conversation will be about LeBron. If they lose, the conversation is going to be about Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard. That's the only thing that I'll be frustrated about.
That's going to come with that.
Yeah.
But I think, it'll come with that, and it's just one of those, from the get-go. Because it will come from that, but it's going to come from all the Braun fans.
Yeah.
Because
that's
you're going to see
an interesting
You're going to see an interesting dynamic with LA fans, because I'm telling you, LA fans
just bring the championship.
A season ago, we wanted Kawhi over LeBron. We wanted Kawhi over LeBron.
Yeah.
And so to get him there, it's all the credit's going to be given to him, and all the blame should go to LeBron, because any issue should rise up, it most likely will be with LeBron. Which is sad to say. That's not, and when I say that, I say that slightly less from a hater's perspective, but that's it. Look at Kyrie. The dude averaged 35 over the last 3 games of that series when they hit the biggest shot of his career. Cleveland's clear.
And you're like, how does he not get Finals MVP? Which again, I don't care about credit. I really don't even care who's considered the greatest of all time. But the one thing I do hate is when narratives, biased narratives get pushed, God worship narratives get pushed, and that's something that drives me nuts. And again, I'm not personally invested in Kawhi Leonard. The grand scheme, I don't care. But what I hated was the way that people talked about Kevin Love and Kyrie when they were losing. And that if I were to pick one,
it's just the same thing. When they were losing, Kevin Love and Kyrie ain't all that good and stuff. But then when they're winning, LeBron's just genius, and it's yo.
I get it. He's your best player, but
it's
come on now.
It's such a...
Come on now. Give the guys
a little
bit more
credit.
credit.
It gets tiring talking of that. Yeah. And, but I'm just trying to have dudes... I'm ready. And it's especially great because, one, nobody could call me crap about, oh, you're not even a Lakers fan or whatever. Nah, been a Lakers fan since day one.
Yeah.
He's on. It's perfect that he's on the Lakers right now and stuff. Because if they do win the championship and if they get Kawhi, I mean, if they don't win the championship, my God, it's going to be over for those three guys.
And what a setup. LeBron can, and if he wants to continue to play, he can continue to play.
Yeah.
But what a setup that you've got when LeBron retires. You got
two people to
Kawhi
take over.
and Anthony Davis in their prime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna work out great.
So the
because
window,
AD's
the
only like
good.
what 26.
Yes,
he's young. It's weird. He's so young, but I feel like he's been in the league forever.
Well, that group of cats that came in
from Kentucky, him, John Wall,
like all the cats. Well, really, everybody that ever comes in after their freshman year,
Kyrie,
they're the ones where it feels kind of weird. Like I was talking to somebody
I feel like
about
Kyrie's like 35. He's only 28. I feel like
27.
20. Stupid.
So that's the thing. That's what I've been talking about with all these cats that have been coming out as freshmen. We're just now getting a sense, like the 7 years ago classes. We're just now getting a sense of just how much experience you get before the age of 25. And I was just talking to somebody about obviously a much lower tier talent. The Warriors just signed him to a 3-year, $15 million extension. Kevon Looney, he wasn't a very like highly touted prospect because he was dealing with hip issues in UCLA, but he came out of UCLA at 19. He's about to go into his 5th season.
Yeah,
he turned 20. He turned 23 in February.
Yeah, so it is all those one and done guys.
All those cats are
especially
like,
the young
yeah.
ones.
So they'll. I mean, you've got think about this: 6 years of NBA experience before your 25th birthday.
Yeah,
which is like
it's crazy.
That's just nuts. So
it is 7:44 on July 3rd, and we've yet to hear about Kawhi. This is day 4 of Kawhi Purgatory, as I tweeted earlier this morning.
Bro, it's 7:43 on July 3rd, and it's 93 degrees outside.
That's also the stupid part.
If it gets to 8 o'clock and it's still 90 degrees, me and the Lord
tomorrow's
about to have
4th
a
of July,
conversation.
and like I don't know what I'm doing.
Bro, I'm trying to leave the country. Can we leave the country?
Shit.
I was looking at tickets to the Bahamas. I kid you not. I was like, right. Tell me why it's cooler in the Bahamas
It's
right now.
Nothing makes sense right now in the U.S. Nothing. I blame it on Trump.
I need to get
Not to get political on y'all. Sorry. I'm going to just go ahead and blame it on
This is
Agent
what we
45.
get for leaving the Paris Accords.
Agent 45. I'm going to blame it on him.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so Kawhi's not announced yet, but either way, it'll be good. And we deserve a little like, this has just become the thing with the NBA, and it's cool because one, we've talked about this, but the CBA is coming for the NBA player or NFL players this season, I think, right? The collective bargaining agreement, and if the NFL does not hold out this season, y'all are idiots. I'm sorry. Like, and this is one of those things. It's like, yeah, you're not going to get paid and everything, but especially this off season where you see dudes like Malcolm Brogdon, like he's a good player and all, but what he got paid, he got 85. It's like 4? Bro, I'm pretty sure he makes more than Tom Brady.
Oh, Gary, I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah, because that's what
Tom Brady only gets
he
paid
makes like
12 million a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like NFL players and like the guys like Tom Brady, the Aaron Rodgers, those guys are set off with all this sponsorship and stuff like that. But just the middle tier NFL players, where it's like, yo, I'm like the best receiver on our team, and I'm making $10 million a year.
4-year, $85 million contract for Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, it's
his year one will be $21.2 million.
The thing alone that NFL players should be fighting for is just, yo, I want my contract fully guaranteed. That's it. The fact that their whole contract isn't fully guaranteed is just absurd. It's so absurd.
Best use of the Chappelle skit, the hide your money, y'all, by far was when NBA players and NFL players hang out. Yikes.
Hide your money, y'all.
Big yikes,
4 people around.
That's real. It's real, though.
Yeah.
It's real, though.
And because all those dudes hang out and they're all connected and stuff. And so you see this dude, it's like, I know I'm way better at my sport than you are at yours, and you making double, triple what I make. Oh no, like I know it's one of those don't compare yourself to others and stuff, but it's just that aspect of like not even comparing yourself to the other person. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you're getting paid and stuff, but I gotta talk to my employer because there's something wrong with this. Because NFL pulls in more money than NBA, but it's like, yo, the players aren't receiving none of that.
Imagine this. Imagine being Odell, Julio Jones. What's his name from
AB?
AB. What's his name from Houston? DeAndre. How am I forgetting this dude's name? But monsters at the receiver position.
Yeah.
1,500 yards, 1,600 yards a year. Anywhere between like 8 to 12 touchdowns a year.
Yeah.
And getting paid the same amount as J.J. Redick per year.
Yikes.
No disrespect to J.J. Redick.
J.J. Redick is a great shooter. One of the craziest stats with him is he's never missed the playoffs his whole time in the league, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah. I guess the early Clippers years, and then he went from Clippers to where? Went straight from Clippers to Philly after that?
Now, I feel like there was another team in between.
Somewhere.
Look it up.
Yeah. But yeah, could you imagine being Odell, being AB, and being like, bruh, I get the same scred as this dude who, like, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it's super wild.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He played with Orlando Magic.
That's
2006 to 2013. He played with the Bucks in 2013. Then I guess he got traded to the Clippers. He played with them for 4 years, 2013, 2017.
Hated it low key.
And then he was with the Sixers he was with them for 2 years. And then now he's with them. Yeah, so made the playoffs each trip. It's cool. But yeah, NFL players.
I feel bad for running backs, bro.
Y'all better get paid. Oh yeah, running.
Oh my
and that's the other thing with the NFL where it's like y'all's career average lifespan is like 2-3 seasons, and
that's what it feels like recently.
Yeah,
but it's like 6.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 or 4 seasons is the lifespan of an average.
Oh, I guess average median would be really
median.
Low.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4
because only the really good ones go beyond 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because just there's so many players that come and go.
Literally outside of the quarterback, you touch the ball most, and these cats are getting not only paid like scraps, treated.
Like, yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Oh, yeah.
We can replace you in the fourth round of the draft next year.
They run the crap out of you while you're a rookie, and then by the time it comes time to re-you up, it's like, we actually don't really need you. So they don't pay you what you fully deserve. And so another team's, at that point, you're just like, I can't really play hardball because I need to get paid. And so another team's going to like pay you a decent amount, but you're not going to get paid what you want.
Right.
And it's the messed up part, but also you see it with NBA, where NBA is great at like, like KD getting paid what he got paid even after tearing his ACL. That would never happen in the NFL.
Oh, heck no.
And it's one of those, it's like, it's a risky play and all, but it's part of it's just like, one, that just shows you're a top tier player. And even despite it doesn't work out in our favor, it's like we're willing to take that risk. We're willing to like put our trust. I'm
looking at some of these running back names, and I am befuddled at how quickly they come in and come out. DeMarco Murray.
Oh yeah, he had that one season with the Cowboys.
Jamal Charles.
That was it. Jamal Charles. Oh my gosh.
LaShawn McCoy. And even LaShawn McCoy had a few pretty good years with Philly. He just couldn't stay healthy. I think about here's a name for you. I think about Arian Foster.
Oh, wow.
In, out. Remember fantasy football?
Yeah.
Arian Foster, everybody was like, Arian Foster going to top 3 next year. Next year, what happened? Boom, gone.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, the pay gap is wild, especially for a sport that, number one, makes more money than the NBA, which makes no sense to me. And it's also 10 times more dangerous than the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. It makes more money.
Long.
They make more money, and it is way more dangerous. And somehow
cripples their players a lot longer.
And I get it. QBs get paid. That's fine. But even them, they get huge signing bonuses. They'll get like $40 million signing bonuses when they sign their contracts.
Yeah.
Something that you don't see nearly as much of in the NBA. So, yeah. Wild.
Yeah. That's all the NBA talk. Last few things. I finally finished Parenthood. My God.
Oh, the roller
That was a
coaster.
journey of the show. Never having a family again. Even though it ended on a happy note and all that.
Again.
It took like 5 years out of my life, that show.
Oh, the stress, bro. The blood pressure.
It's just too much stress. And especially, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, sorry, but the grandpa, like, he basically dies on the last episode. And they cremate him, pour him on the ground, and then they have like a family baseball game, and then they kind of like flash into the future of like where every family ends up and go. It's like a cool, happy ending and all, but also y'all couldn't just like, we knew the grandpa was gonna die. Just let him live. Just let him live.
We knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
So just reverse it. Let's pretend he died.
Like, we know the dude was old. He just had a heart attack, blah blah blah. But just like let him.
Could you
just
end
be
the show
there.
before? We knew he was gonna die soon, so just end the show before that.
Yeah, it's just like, yo, this is episode 13. He's good. He's with the family. He might be at the baseball game. He might not be playing. He might just be sitting in the chair. He might be the ump. You don't know. He's there. And then next episode, he died. But, oh, guess what? There's no need for a next episode because y'all ended at episode 1 before he died. You know? But
you could even told us that he was going to die.
Yeah, you could have afterwards.
'Cause I'm pretty sure
like,
they find you don't. Is it? I can't remember. Is it sudden or did they like you find out that he's sick beforehand?
It
like before the last episode.
They,
or
like
does it,
throughout
or does
the
it just happen?
season. Throughout the season, they do the different thing where like he's older and so he's having a little. But really, it all like climaxes on that last season.
Oh yeah, so they just
where he has a huge heart attack in Vegas. That's where it starts.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then from there, he suffers another heart attack while he's asleep. And then they were like, "Hey, we got to go back in and like cut you up or whatever." And he decides not to do the surgery. And then he's sitting there in the chair. Yeah. His wife's saying something to him, and then you just notice he's dead. And like when that, first of all, that was a curveball. I saw it came in out of nowhere, and I was just like, because the way he was laying, and then they were hinting at he was dead, and I was just like, y'all just gonna kill the man like that?
I know.
Y'all just gonna have him sitting in the chair there, his wife calling, and I was upset.
Yeah, but they hit you with it.
I was upset. Yeah, never having a family. Screw that. That's too much. Gosh, dude.
Ladies don't want kids with this guy. Don't want. We're not doing parenthood.
No, I'm gonna have little light skinned babies, but
let's go.
This is just emotional.
Let's go.
This is just emotional. I gotta get these little Steph Currys out here.
Hey,
we gotta get some ballers, bro. Soccer. These dudes about to be soccer camps. Oh, yo, people don't realize how much money in soccer is.
If you stay around here, then yes.
Y'all don't realize how much money in soccer is, and all you like there's injuries in all sports and stuff, but like soccer and basketball are like the two sports where it's just like kids least likely to have like long-term just injuries and stuff. And I don't know. I feel like soccer deals with some concussions and stuff because they just head the ball a lot and that hurts. But like those are the two sports where like dudes get paid if you're really good, and especially you play overseas, and also where it's like you can have a longevity also if you're good. Right.
Oh, especially if you live around here, they're going to have to play soccer.
Hoops, soccer.
Or that, yeah, either way.
So yeah, Parenthood, done with that. I gotta find a new show. I saw season 3 of Jessica Jones is up on Netflix.
I might start that tonight.
I gotta finish that. Yeah, so I gotta finish that series. That's the last one.
You in season 2?
No. So I've watched season 2. So I just gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Season 3, and then I feel like Black Mirror. There was 3 episodes or whatever. Black Mirror was.
Oh
good.
Yeah, we watched the one. I need to watch the other 2.
That first episode's weird, super weird.
Did we watch the first one? Is that what we watched?
Yeah, that was the first.
Yeah,
the second one's really good, and even the Hannah Montana one's Miley Cyrus.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean,
it could be just like this is what happens to Hannah Montana in the near future. Like,
Yeah, real true. So that one was good also.
I heard people clamoring for like, can we please get? I forget what her character in that is called, but can we please get an album? And
Based off that character. Bro, I saw Spider-Man yesterday. You saw it today.
Yes.
First of all, oh my God, let me tell you about. I was watching this movie. Went to go see it with Tyrone. So I showed up at the movie was at
last
7.
Night, right?
Yeah,
last
movie
night?
was at 7:35. I got there at like 7:20, 7:25. The 7:35 showing was sold out, which I should have known. It was like
that's day one. Yeah, yesterday was technically
$5 tickets Tuesdays, and then also that's like the first official dates out.
Dang, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so as soon as like I was like, yeah, of course it's sold out. So I bought it showing for $8.10. And I hit up Tyrone. I was like, "Hey, I bought it for $8.10." Of course, he had fallen asleep, I called him at 7:30. I was like, "Hey, where you at?" "I'm at home. I just woke up." It's like, "You coming to this movie?"
Oh,
yeah, I'll be there in a sec. What you mean?
What you mean a second?
Bro, the movie starts in 5 minutes. Yeah, there's like 15 minutes of trailers, but even if you get here, you're going to miss the first 20 minutes of the movie. But I was like, listen, this was sold out, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go see the second showing. Cool. Whatever. Movie starts, get there. He even ended up showing a couple minutes late. Partially my fault. I sent him to a dollar store to get some snacks.
Since you late.
Because I had bought Skittles. And then I was like, well, I got to sit in this theater for 40 minutes now to wait for this movie to watch. I know I'm going to eat all these Skittles up. Yep. I was like, nah, so you got to re-up some more on the snacks. Of course, I tell him to re-up on the snacks. I tell him what to get. I was like, yo, give me some of those Sour Patch the watermelon gummies. It was like, all right, cool. He shows up like a couple minutes into the movie, hands me some chocolate Raisinets. I almost swung on him in the theater. He eventually pulled out some Sour Patch Kids. But, like, when he pulled out the Raisinets, I was like, this is a joke, right? But I'm assuming he ended up getting those for himself because he ate them. He gave me the Sour Patches, which I was good with.
Oh, that reminds me. We got your, what you call it? Them chewy joints in the cabinet.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
Look. So Spider-Man, what'd you think?
But hold on, I'm not even done yet. So movie starts. We're watching the movie, and so spoiler alert. I'm not gonna spoil the whole movie. I'm just gonna the movie is really good. It's a cute movie, man. It's a cute movie. They're adorable, man. They're adorable. Really fun, good action, all that. Jake Gyllenhaal was great.
Yeah.
Tom Holland was great. I mean. What's the light-skinned girl name?
Zendaya.
Yeah. She was great. Samuel L. Jackson obviously is always great.
Yes.
But it was that part when he's in the ship and Happy is he was like, here, I need a new suit. And he's like, I got you. He turns around and he goes to the machine. And so there's like the music builds up and he's like, oh, Spidey's he's about to go back and do this. Screen cuts off.
No, wait. Y'all screen at the theater cuts out.
Screen at the theater cuts off.
That's literally right before the climax of the movie.
That's what I'm saying. We sitting there.
You get vouchers.
Let me just. We sitting there. Spidey about to get this suit. He figures out what's going on, gets his suit. This is the climax. This is where he about to go whip Jake Gyllenhaal's butt, do his thing. Screen cuts off, and I've never been more shocked.
I literally would have immediately stood up.
I'm probably cursed. I was the what? And everyone like the theater. That theater was also sold out, so everybody was just like, "What?
Yeah.
What's going on?" And so like everyone's freaking out, and some dude walks in and is just like, "Hey, this whole block, this whole strip lost power,
bro." And I don't know what is going on. That's happened multiple times
over
here.
I was driving here, and there was like all the traffic lights were out.
Dude, that's happened multiple times. We've been
problematic.
We've been here for just over 2 years. It's happened 4 or 5 times where literally that whole, including Park West, will just lose power.
That's stupid.
All of it.
That's
at
stupid.
Once.
Yeah, they got
the power box is the one at the corner
Yeah.
Morrisville and Chapel Hill Road.
Yeah.
And they've got to go to that thing, or at least one of them is right there. That's happened like 5 times since we've lived here.
Yeah, so we sat there. It took him like he came in and said that, and so it was like, someone's gonna come in here with some vouchers for y'all. So at that point, I was like, all right, whatever. And so I was waiting for the vouchers, and then the power cut back on, like 7 minutes later or something, and then dude came back in. He's like, hey, no worries, we're gonna cut the movie back on in a couple minutes for you guys. And so at that point, it had been like 20 minutes since the whole thing happened, and I was just like, I mean, I'd be down to watch this movie again, but also, like, if we're gonna pick it up from where I left off, I'll just finish watching that and then come back later or something. I don't know. I was already committed here, and there's only like 15 minutes left in the movie, so I'll just watch the last 15. So they start the movie. First, they started it back when Zendaya figures out that he's Spider-Man, calls him out on that. So we're like, everyone's like, yo, no! Like, because that's like 30 minutes way before the period where the movie had cut off. So it was like, we're not about to watch this whole back again. Nah, I got plans. And so, dude, fast forward. And then they fast forward, literally, you know, the part where he hands Happy the necklace and is like, hey, give it to her and whatever. Yeah. So he's halfway through that dialogue. And we're freaking out because it's like, no, you went like 30 seconds, a minute too far now. Yeah. But at that point, they just was just like, God, just fine, whatever. Yeah. Whatever. And so finished the movie, and as we're leaving, they handed out movie vouchers and stuff. But that was honestly just, yeah, they got to fix whatever that power issue is. I mean, that was horrible. That sucked. But beyond all that, the ending credit scenes,
both of them,
had me so stressed out.
Both of them.
What do you mean both?
One right at mid credits. It happens like right after the like regular credits, and then there's one all the way at the end.
I didn't say that long. So, are you talking about when they when it announces like, hey, I know who Spider-Man is?
Yeah, that's the first one.
Oh, there was another one
at
after
the
that?
very end. They did it at very bro.
Dang it.
Bro.
Hold on. So, I'm going to have to look this up.
Did you get a voucher? We're going to see this tonight.
Oh my God. This is why I'm so upset.
Don't look it up and like, you have to like see it. I mean, you could look it up and see what the scene is because they probably already explained it somewhere.
No, I'm trying to watch it. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to find it.
I've had a feeling for a while, ever since the first trailer.
Don't tell me what it is.
No, I'm not gonna say. I have had a feeling for not the first trailer, but the second trailer. When you meet Mysterio, Mysterio was like, "Oh yeah, you'd have been useful on my Earth." Yada yada. I had the sense that this movie was low key important, important for what they're gonna do in the future. Yeah. When the movie was over, I was like, "That was dope," but I don't really get a sense for what we're going to see,
what direction
in the future outside of Spider-Man, because we get to the end and J. Jonah Jameson, and they bring back what's his name who played Jameson in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. They brought him back to be Jameson. Do that whole thing of making him look like a criminal in New York. It's gonna feel really old school. But as far as the whole Marvel universe, I was like, I don't really get a sense that we're getting any where we're going. And then that after credit scene happens, and you're like, what? You're like, huh?
So upset. This is your fault, Park West. God.
I can't believe it.
So tight.
I'm looking up movie times right now.
No, I can't. I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
I'm gonna see if there's a bootleg video of it.
I'm trying to watch Last Man in San Francisco, whatever. Last Black Man in I don't know, something like that. It's that indie Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
That came out.
When?
It said it came out. I saw on Instagram. It said it came out.
I saw a trailer for that like hella long ago, and I didn't know when it was coming out.
Like at theaters everywhere. But I've looked at every theater and it's not showing it.
Because that movie looks fantastic.
It looks so dope. So I want to see that. So next time I see that, I'll watch that, and then I'll just afterwards sneak into a Spider-Man. And
I was thinking about doing that today, except the movie that my brother-in-law wanted to go see, I was like, bro, I'm not trying to put myself through that. He wanted to watch Spider-Man and then walk into Midsummer.
Isn't that the scary movie or whatever that's supposed to be?
Yes. If you haven't seen a trailer to that, bro, that seems like the most unsettling. It seems like the most unsettling movie I've ever heard of. Yeah, like legit. They asked Jordan Peele. They asked Jordan Peele about it. He's like, this will set the bar. Everybody will be trying to do this.
Yeah, I've heard
going forward. Like he said it's like the best horror movie he's ever seen. I'm like, oh my god. No.
Yeah, I'm a little baby. I'm all good. I'm sure I'll probably end up watching it. Oh, hold on real quick, folks. I gotta take a phone call. Berto, what up? Bro, I'm just chilling. What's good? Bro, let's do it. Her crib, my crib, it don't matter. Whatever crib. I got that drinking game I could bring. Yeah, all right. Just hit me with her Addy, and then yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll probably just text her for that address just to be sorry for whatever. But what time y'all doing it? 9? I bet. I'm at Lindell's right now. I'm gonna go home, shower real quick, and then I'll head that way. All right, cool. Sorry, important business. Game night. That's all. What were we talking? Oh yeah, nah. I gotta watch Midsummer. Also, I'm low-key tight. God, man, Park West. I'm so heated because I knew like there was gonna be extra credit. I asked the dude, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's something after the credit." And so after I saw that, and especially just how that first one ended, it was such a huge like, what the just happened?
Yeah.
And then everyone kind of got up and left, and part of it was just like with the extended time waiting for the movie to come back on, I was just frustrated and everything ready to leave. And so I didn't even, and I should have known because Marvel has done that recently. Where they
but the thing though is, outside of like Thanos, a lot of those end credits ones haven't been that big recently. They've just been kind of like cute, funny little whatevers.
Yeah,
especially like.
But this one had to be big because this was the first movie after the Avengers, right?
That's
the Endgame.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's
so this
correct.
one had to. Also, just the beginning, how that movie started with
the announcements, the school announcements.
Yeah, the school announcements. God, they're so brilliant. It was so funny.
Gone, but not forgotten.
The kid that was the other guy, he was so funny. It was just, dude, you can't curse. I mean, it's the last day of school, whatever. It was just so fun. It was such a good movie. It's such a fun movie.
Jay Smooth is one of the teachers.
Jay Smooth, yeah.
Don't look at me. Literally the whole movie. Don't look at me.
It was great because like, I love it because they didn't try to overdo him. They didn't try to have him extreme or whatever. He was like subtle and like
exactly what
you forgot he was there in the movie or whatever. But when he popped his head, it was just like Jay Smooth is in this movie right now, and it's so great. But it's just that idea of one to have two male chaperones for a high school trip. Whoever ever thinks of something like that is an idiot because like yo. You gotta have at least one female adult on that trip. Right. Because like when they pulled up to the hotel
trip,
when they like first of all, I'm going to Venice next year. Yo, they rolled up in that Venice's bucket list right there. But when they pulled up to that raggedy looking hotel, I was like, yeah, this is what happened when you got two dudes. It's like, y'all didn't look at no Yelp review, did you?
No.
You just saw something cheap.
This man,
this is affordable.
When they went to the art museum, I said, "Oh, it's closed till when? November." You didn't check the website? Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
I was so mad, bro.
I was heated
I
for
was
them.
so mad. That stressed me out. I'm like,
was
could you
so
imagine
funny.
traveling for like 8-9 hours, getting
Yeah.
to somewhere and realizing this ain't like let's go get something to eat.
Nah. So funny, dude. Oh man, it was a good movie.
It's not like we were in Cincinnati and the place was closed and the website clearly says.
Oh yeah, we ain't do an episode in a minute.
I know, bro.
Real quick, guys, I just want to talk to y'all for a second. Yo,
I love y'all.
Cincinnati
I love y'all. We ain't
is
it ain't
not
happening.
the pit of America, armpit of America, but it's like a ingrown hair.
It tried to grow. It tried to grow, but as soon as it got long enough,
in the
you just
armpit
cut
area.
it off. Yeah. just
My
cut it off.
God, and now I know that
The
was
man
like
said an ingrown
everyone.
hair in the armpit area.
Everyone was telling
Oh
us,
my
it's usually not this
gosh.
bad or whatever. But the weather there we were there a couple weeks ago helping out our former boss with
Yeah, it was
an event
dope.
he had going on. It was fun.
Fun.
It was great. Met some cool
We
people.
just had to
and
contend
all.
with the air quality of a
But
nuclear power plant.
My God, I've never I don't have allergies. At least I don't think I do. I never.
Your boy
had
developed
any-
eczema while I was up there.
That's what I'm saying. I developed something, bro. Mucus, just my whole body. 80% of my body was mucus. Like it was just gross. I was just coughing up stuff. And
mornings and nights are
voice
the
was
worst.
Gone. Yeah, nights. I mean, I had
Oh
one
my
night
God.
I was coughing so bad. I ended up going downstairs, putting on Parenthood, and then 15 minutes into it, I fell asleep. So I was just like, of course, this is how it plays out. But yeah, they trying to get me to come back out there and whatever. I'm like, oh sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like legit,
It's like
legit.
there's
I was
a
like,
lot
I
of
love
people
y'all.
I
I was
like live there.
It's like,
but
I
it
love
just-
y'all.
yeah.
But
Y'all are great and all. It's just your city kills me. This is one time. I know it's one time, and you all say it's normally not always like this, but I'm scarred. All right, I'm scarred.
downtown straight too. But I just don't dig the burbs. I don't like
Yeah.
Mason, like Fairfield or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's straight. Like it's straight. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. Your boy could not breathe.
No, we
I was
barely
dead.
survived. Like that drive back, the whole time I was just in the back car, like just hold on for dear life. I was on the last life bar, and then we hit North Carolina. It was just like I got revived. I was
Oh, legit. Somebody, so
Came
and
back
you
to
were-
life.
you saw it. I lost my voice by probably Wednesday.
yeah.
Thursday it was gone. And then literally Saturday, bro, your boy was whispering. I've never experienced anything like this before.
Yeah.
Voice gone Saturday. We left Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. 2 hours into the drive, my voice is back to 70%. Like literally as soon as we got out of the state,
Yeah.
my voice was back. And it was the weirdest thing ever. Again, I love y'all. Okay? Don't believe the anti-California propaganda. I love y'all. Shouts out to y'all. But y'all stay.
Yeah, there were some of y'all reckless talking about California. Oh my
California,
gosh.
the worst state in the United States. Heard that from multiple people multiple times.
Bush League.
Bush League, bro.
Bush League. But yeah, almost died. Minus that. It was cool. It was fun.
pretty straight,
We'll be
yeah.
back out there soon.
Yeah.
Just I'm gonna have a
merge 20 merge
a gas
2020.
mask on it. Yeah. Also-
Inhaler. Your
Yeah.
boy's getting an inhaler for the Ohio
But
trip.
no, yeah, because you mentioned the part. I'm
That
pretty
too.
sure I've said. Yeah. No, I'm just all over the place.
What
right
part?
Now. But no,
That
the part
part?
that of like, yeah, after because when we got done with the event, it was like around 10ish, and we would be like, all right, yo, let's go get something to eat. And the first day, we went to Waffle House because that's just tradition. But then after that, it's like, yo, what's open or whatever. Everything closes at like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
It just made no sense.
Tuesday, Wednesday, we ended up doing Waffle House. Or Monday, Tuesday. I think it was Monday, Tuesday, we ended up doing Waffle House. Because we did that two nights in
Yeah.
a row.
And that's
But it was like Carrie. It felt like Carrie. It was starting to tick me
Yeah.
off because like 10 o'clock, everything was dark. I was like, we didn't even, because like the thing was, we didn't even get out of the building until like 10:30 every night.
Yeah.
So everything closing at 10 was kind of stressful because your boy was
Yeah.
hungry.
hungry. I'm like, Waffle House is good, but I can't do Waffle House every day.
Right.
Like, I'm already sick. Like, Waffle House just don't get me sick, but it's just
Right.
like, I can't
Grease.
be eating that. Yeah, that much grease in my body.
Right.
Don't make sense, man.
Bro, we rolled to this place called. Hey, shout out to Taft's. I'm sure you have good food, but we wouldn't know.
No,
we wouldn't know.
No, everybody was hyping it up. I'm like, that's cool and all, but
so tell them about what happened. Tell them about what our very brief experience.
Oh my gosh! Walked in the door waving the full.
This lady,
not really, but
yeah, right.
We looked up in the place and it was just like. Okay, y'all close at 11. Dope. Y'all close at 11, and we like got in there right at 10. So it was like, okay, we'll quickly get here, and then
that's the thing too. I think it stayed open till 2. The kitchen, I'm pretty sure, was supposed to stay open.
No. So we walked in, so it was like closes at 11.
Right.
But Carrie was like, hey. He like at 9:45. He was like, "You guys head there, and then I'll send you my order, and then I'll meet you."
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so
we rolling at like 10:03.
Yeah, roll up there 10:03. Go grab a seat. He's like, "Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Just want to let you know we're actually closing. We actually close at 10." I was like, "What? Your website says it closes at 11." She said, "Yeah, we know." And part of me, I was just sick and tired at this point, and I was just like so done. And that was a good thing because I was just ready. What do you mean you know? Like, change that. Call Google.
Like legit. My thing was. So how many times have you heard that this week?
Oh yeah, or this night. Because that was the thing. As soon as as we were walking out, there was another group of guys walking in. And she was telling them the same thing, and I was just like, so you just hey, I could save you some trouble of not having to deal with that. Just change your website. Change what it says online. Gosh, man, it was speedy.
Because that night was funny too, because we actually went to a Waffle House and then went from the Waffle House to Taft's. Then back to the neighborhood that we needed to be in to go to sleep anyway, the house that we were staying at anyway. That night was
that was a crazy night. It was a lot.
I ate 13 out of 16 wings, bro. I was hungry.
It was wild. I gotta get on up out of here, but we're gonna do, I don't know how many episodes we'll do throughout the summer. We had to do this one with NBA free agency, but we're gonna do one more at least next week, because hopefully Kawhi would have freaking announced by then. And I also still want to do our NBA superlatives for the 18-19 season. And then we're trying to get Devan on to hop on with that. And then that's going to be, I need my laptop back hopefully by then.
Right.
So that's help with that. But yeah. Also, Dreamville's going to drop their album this Friday.
I got that doc to watch.
That documentary. Dreamville did a revenge documentary, kind of just documenting their 10 days they spent in the studio making this album that's dropping Friday.
10 days.
It's literally one of the coolest things ever, and it solidified J. Cole for me being better than Kendrick. And to me, it's just set in stone now, and especially just this past year. I tweeted last night, ever since KOD dropped. And then all his features, some of the songs he dropped in between with Middle Child and the Young Thug. The London, and he basically hinted at it in one of the songs where he's just it was one of his interviews where he was just like, it was just seeing the growth he's had, and because he was basically in that mind state of he was becoming the old head. Him K-Dot. Drake, they're essentially the old head. They're steering towards being the old heads of the rap games, because all these new guys, Lil Uzi Vert, Lobo, all these guys that came along was that next generation, and so these guys were becoming the old heads. But it's cool where just seeing how J. Cole's transformed within that, and seeing how he's kind of evolved within that. But it's a real cool documentary. We'll talk more about it next week. Give you a chance to watch it, and I definitely want to watch it again because I was watching it at 2 a.m. last night. I don't know. I got an issue. I could be up at 2 a.m. and I got all the energy in the world and it's great. And I know I got to wake up in 6 hours, but I'm like, yo, there's this content to be watched or listened.
Yeah,
it's a problem, but no, it was worth it. It was a great documentary. I'm gonna go back and watch it, but. So keep a lookout for another episode next week. This one's gonna be interesting. I don't know when this one will drop, honestly, because tomorrow's 4th of July, but I might try to get it out. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Right.
I ain't got a laptop right now. I don't know. We'll work it. Thanks for listening. Once again, you could always follow us on Twitter at CDiscoursepod, at CDiscoursepod. Follow me at Thundercat Felix. Why Thundercat Felix?
Thundercat.
Don't matter.
Thunder.
Stop asking questions.
Thunder.
Are you the feds?
Thundercats. Ho!
You are a narc. Don't ask too many questions.
And you can follow me at Chase. Actually, we look forward to hearing what you got to say. Kind of input. Again, we're going to be having a guest. We're going to be having a visitor on the podcast here in the next
Most likely,
weeks.
hopefully.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Hopefully.
Always brings good content. So, but we're trying to. We wouldn't mind having any of y'all bums on here either. So, hit us up on Twitter. Follow us, like us, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
We'll catch you later.
Kawhi, come to the Lakers, please. I'm begging you. I love you. Bye.